All right, we want to revisit now a debate that we had earlier about Odell Beckham Jr. and whether his comments about making the Browns the new Patriots are over the line. I still think they are, Chris, and I've managed to come up with a few instances where someone has kind of called their shot. Joe Namath, Super Bowl III. The Bears, I had a reader point this out, they recorded the Super Bowl Shuffle video weeks before they even qualified to play in the Super Bowl. And then Plexico Burress before Super Bowl 42 when they went in and, you know, the Giants took down Goliath that year, and Burress called his shot and said that the Giants would beat the Patriots. I mean, but it's still, it's one thing to talk about a game. It's one thing to make the boast late in the year. I can't think of a time where months before the season even begins, you've got this kind of stuff going on and anyone actually delivering on it. I just think there's too many things that can happen. It sets the bar too high. It puts too much pressure on people in those early season games because, you know, we talk about this all the time now. If you start off 1-2, 2-4, your window gets narrower and narrower, and it's harder to get the things you need like home field advantage. And I think it puts more pressure on these teams that feel like they have to win week 1, they have to win week 2. And I don't, you know, maybe the Browns will rise up and they'll run the table. Who knows? Maybe 2 years after going 0-16, they'll go 16-0. I just think that this extra pressure doesn't help. And I think it's got to drive Freddie Kitchens crazy because he's the guy who's going to take the blame, Chris, if this team fails to live up to its sky-high expectations.
Yes, he will. The pressure was there already before Odell Beckham Jr. said these comments. That's where I'll at least defend him there. I mean, we've talked about this every week for about the last month and a half, just the Browns.
But wouldn't this have been Chris, wouldn't this have been an opportunity when he's asked by GQ last night at the Met Gala with his tuxedo with the sleeves ripped off? Well, and hey, I don't diss the look. If you can pull it off, pull it off. But wouldn't it be better to say, you know, man, people are just really over the top in their expectations of the Browns. We have to prove it 1 week at a time. We got a lot of work to do before anybody considers us a team that's done anything. I'm ready to do it. I'm anxious for the challenge, but this is not going to be easy. I mean, what's wrong with saying something like that?
No, I understand. That's probably an answer that you or me would have, you know, given to the media if that were the case. But again, I'm not going to sit here and look at Odell Beckham Jr.'s comments and just go, oh, gosh, he made some crazy proclamation. I mean, hey, trying to bring as many championships there as possible. You know, we want to we're turning the Browns into the new Patriots. You know, he's kind of just trying to say, yeah, it's a new era in Cleveland. There's nothing wrong with him saying that. He's saying that they want to start something new. They want to create a new culture. They want it to be a winning culture, and they aspire to be New England-like. He's not calling a shot as saying we're going to win Super Bowls. He said trying to. So I get it. Yes, it's not the most perfect answer in the world, but I don't look at it, you know, nearly as egregious as Greedy Williams last week talking about the Super Bowls when he hasn't even gone through a practice yet in the NFL, okay? And this is not a Super Bowl type comment. This is just talking about what they're trying to do. He's excited to be a part of it, and that's how I look at it, at least.
Yeah, and here's the other thing, too. It's critical to have self-awareness, and I think he has some but not enough because it's too late to undo the persona that he's created over the past 5 years. He's at the Met Gala, for crying out loud. I mean, this guy's a big deal.
He is.
Everything he says is going to carry much greater significance than if it was some slappy backup right tackle. He has to know that before he says anything. And you know, he can get mad and he can get salty and he can get pissy and he can block me again on Twitter. Actually, he'd have to unblock me first. But that's part of the reality of being self-aware. He needs to understand that for a guy like him, you say it, people are going to listen. It's like the old E.F. Hutton commercials. That's long before your time. They used to do a commercial all the time when you'd watch football games, and there would be people in a room, and somebody would say something, and everybody'd stop and listen. It was E.F. Hutton. It was some brokerage firm. When E.F. Hutton speaks, people listen.
Right.
When Odell Beckham Jr. speaks, people listen, so be careful what you say. That's all I'm going to say about
it. Okay, that's good.
You have something else you want to say?
No,
I
think we hit it all. I mean, yeah, I think we both agree. We wish he would have phrased it differently, but it's not the worst thing in the world.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.